Okay, so you lot have been making me a tier list. Oh yeah. You lot have made me a tier list apparently. First, go here and search Okaymage in the search bar. Okay, Okaymage. How do I spell that? Oh no! Oh no! Not this picture! Our 6.0 Endwalker tier list. Surely this can't go wrong. Tier rankings created with Jordan in mind. We all know you never rate anything below a B, so why bother including them? Excuse me, I utilised the bin, okay? In my first ever tier list, I put all the villains in the bin, and you lot were like, oh, you can't just put the villains in the bin. The preaching one said that. You can't just put all the villains in the bin. So then I started putting villains on the tier list, and then I got flamed anyway, because they go in S. But they're good. Okay, so character number 1. The Sultan? No, Sultan, it would have been Dynamo. How would you phrase it? Radzahan. He was S+, easy. Satrap, there you go. Okay, the Satrap of Radzahan. Ahewan? Ahewan. He was a good satrap. He was very noble. He was good to his people. He did an excellent job concealing Vitra's identity and carrying out Vitra's wishes. And he also had a very tragic death. That cutscene was awful. So I think I'll consider he was okay. So I'll put him in B. Okay, look, above average. Above average, terrible death. Okay, Chris wants to give me a tier list affix. Go on then, what's the affix? Other than me. You're adding another affix to the tier list. That doesn't sound good. Oh, I love the music. Oh, I'm excited for all the characters. What do you mean we'll see the average in the end? B is average. B is for average. No, I think Preach would murder me if I was in a call with him doing this. My tier lists are good. That's all I'm saying. They're good tier lists. Only one person in S++++, one in S++, 2 in S+, and 3 in S. All right. Well, what? Okay, we can do that. That's fine. No, you know what? We can do that. That's fine. S. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's fine. We can do that. Cool. No, we can add that affix. That's fine. Okay, Alice. I love Alice. Oh no, I can only put one character. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how it's gonna work. How can I only put one? Alice is worthy of some kind of S and a certain amount of pluses. Oh no. Right, but how many pluses would Alice have? I love Alice. I've loved Alice ever since Coils in ARR. She has such spirit. She's so powerful. I love her. And we've had probably some of the best, most heartfelt cutscenes of her as well. I think it was Heaven's Ward. Was it 3.4? See that cutscene? I think when we were trying to save Gaboo, that was probably one of the first cutscenes that I remember that will just really stay with me. So I'm gonna put Alice in. If I'm only allowed 1, 2, I think Alice has to go. I don't like this outfit. I don't like it. I'm gonna put her in S+++ for now. Alfie! Oh, they're twins. So they should go on the same thing because they're basically the same. Right, Blue Alice. Where would Blue Alice go? Oh, I love Alfie so much. Oh. if I'm only allowed 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. I've loved Alfie ever since ARR, as you lot know. I think one of the first times in A Realm Reborn was that I really, really got upset was during the Red Banquet when a sword was held to Alfie's neck. And I just lost it. I couldn't advance the text box because I just freaked, like, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, no, not Alfie. I had such a big reaction. I loved his sassiness in ARR. I love his whole entire journey across the whole game this time. How much he's grown. He's been 16 for 100 years. I haven't cheated on the affix, actually. I outplayed the affix, that's what I did. I think Alfie goes in S++. Oh, I love them both the same. But I think I've shared more heartfelt moments with Alice, I think. So, just. Oh, is this SAS Mom? Is this SAS Mom? But, no, it can't be. This is one of the Scions. Oh, what was her name? Is SAS Mum? She's not wearing white, so I was unsure. Amelians. Okay, Amelians. SAS Mom. We love SAS Mom. And then I loved the reveal when we had the cutscene where SAS Mum had been funding the Scions the whole time with Tataru. It was great. She is Moneybags. Amelians, I think. I really liked Amelians. Ahirwan, it was also good in the same way as SAS Mom. How do we put SAS Mum in A? Amelians goes in A. A for Amelians. Is that cheating? Margaret! Oh no, I have to think. I can't just put Margaret. Argos. Margos. I can't put Argos at S+ because only one person can go here. Ah! I want to put Argos at the top because Argos is so floofy, so sparkly, so lovely, and soft and cute. All of the qualities for S+++++++++++, right? I think Argos goes with A. Same as SAS Mom. We love them both. There we go. I have to actually think. This is Canny Senna's brother, is it? Every time he was on screen, everyone would say Tobo for some reason. It is the fluffiness scale. Is this Canny Senna's brother? I think so. I mean, he was cool. He was all right. Usually I put Candy Senna in average, which is C. I felt like he was a bit more... It's Tobo Senna. I feel like it was a bit more... I don't know. Maybe not more interesting. Candy Senna is still awesome. She's a great leader. She's just a bit ASMR bedtime, that's all. He's also okay. I'm gonna put him average. Didn't really see him much. He was all right. Maybe because he's so young and he's already showing so many mature traits of leadership. Could give him a point for that, but I think we're fine with C. Apparently, there's an affix for how many people you can put in the top tiers, so I now have to be harsh. Oh no, it's Athena. Of course you had to use this creepy picture of her. Oh no, Athena. Okay, I have to say, side thing, Pandemonium questline was incredible. And again, I know most people will raid, right? So most people will experience the questline, but the fact that it felt very like MSQ core standard. She's scary. That heartless, like, sociopathic, psychopathicness of her, where she didn't even care for her own child. She had like no empathy, and her quest for knowledge had no bounds, no limits. She was scary. But then again, she did her job right. She was the main antagonist for Pandemonium, or Pantimonium as we called it. So she did her job of being a great villain. She was menacing, scary, intimidating. She was born bad. So she was a good villain. So I think we put her in A. I think we put her in A. I think A is a good... How many are allowed in A? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, fine. Halfway filled up A. Are you happy now? Is this Monty Chagney? Craig? Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. This is the grumpy forum person. Head of the forum, no? I will have order. Him, right? Head of the forum, the speaker. Well, he's grumpy. I feel like he can go in the average tier. Like, not bad. Served to be an antagonist. Was a bit of a hurdle. Didn't make things easy. But also quite unremarkable. So we'll put him in C. Moonbreeder's mum. Oh. Is this Moonbreeder's? This is Moonbreeder's mum, isn't it? Is it? I'm sure it is, because this is the cutscene with Yuri Anje. You know what? That cutscene, it's like you spend so long on these quests where you had to speak to like 7 people, but there was over double amount that actually were on the board to speak to. So you spend ages in this quest with the music that's looping, and then all of a sudden it just throws a cutscene at you, which was heart-wrenching, which was Yuri Anje seeing Moonbreeder's parents for the first time. And all of the inner turmoil with Yuri, because he felt like he didn't do enough, he didn't speak to them, and then them accepting him as their son. That was such a heartfelt moment. That was really emotional, that cutscene. And then when they give him a hug, and he gives them the hug back, and especially when you explained that in Japan, hugs are way more meaningful than they are, say, here or in the West, because a hug in Japan is reserved for like really dear personal loved ones, like really, really close family and stuff. So it has slightly different meaning, or more of a meaning. And the struggle when Moonbreeder hugged Yuri in ARR and he was like, unhand me. And then he embraced the hug from the parents. And I just thought that was a really nice moment. So, and they came to see us off with the ship. So I think she goes same category as Ahiwan. They're good. All right, who is this? I'm trying to remember who this is. Is this Aggie Leaf? No. Smooth lift operator. No, I know who this is. This is from Pandemonium. This is, I remember now. The lead researcher you start with the Pandemonium quest, and he ends up being possibly a reincarnation of Lahabrea's son? Claudian? Was it he was a reincarnation of Lahabrea's son? I think? A shard reincarnation? Yeah. Eric's Claudian. Well, I mean, he was also, like, he didn't really do anything wrong. There wasn't really any negatives. He only added, so he was alright. It was good. We spent limited time with him compared to everyone else, so he kind of goes missing. Wait, am I giving him too much credit? He kind of goes missing for the whole quest. We only have certain dialogue with him. But he didn't do anything wrong. I enjoyed what little we did speak to him. So, can't demote him for that. And this is the... Is this the Watcher? The Watcher on the moon. Oh, with the big statue of the Watcher at FanFest. Oh man, that statue was amazing. Oh, Amanda, look. The Watcher. Oh. Is this the Watcher? It's Elidibus. Wait, what? Oh, the red mask. Right, you're right, yeah. Red mask. Elidibus. Okay, so this is Elidibus before he sends you to Elpis. This is the Elidibus not Themis, but Elidibus, who sends you back in time to Elpis. Which I still remember, when I went to Elpis, I didn't realise we were going back in time. I thought we were going into a memory, like Amarot. I thought it was going into a memory of the past from Elidibus's memory. I thought that's what's happening. I didn't realise we actually went back in time. And as we went through Elpis, I remember the realisation kicked in. It was like a plot twist. Like, hang on a minute. This is not a dream. This is not a memory. This is real. We're actually back in time. Emmett is actually standing there. Ah! I mean, Elidibus is incredible. I love his character. It's such a tragic story in Shadowbringers. And also, that cutscene was probably one of the most heart-wrenching cutscenes. Right? One of the more memorable ones in Endwalker. Many memorable cutscenes, but if I'm only allowed to put 1, 2, 3... Oh, I don't like this affix restriction. Okay, well, he has to go in S++ because it's Elidibus. Oh, who's the next one? Simp! Well, I'm sorry, how can you not? I felt like when we did Shadowbringers and we got to 5.0 and we defeated Emmett, he was gone. I spent the rest of the time in mourning because I didn't appreciate the time we had with Emmett. And Emmett's probably one of the best villains, like ever, of all time. He's great. And I really felt like when he was in the picture, we didn't appreciate him enough. And I felt like in Endwalker, it gave you another chance. And we got to see them as they were back in time as the ancients. And he was ever sassy, quirky. I loved the friendship him and Hythlodaeus had. I loved learning about the friendship of him and Azem, where Azem just sounds like me on caffeine, just trolling, or you lot. And I just loved getting to know them more. I felt like it was the perfect fan service. I know the term fan service is used maybe more negatively, but I don't mean it in a negative way. I just felt like it was perfect. We got to see him again and appreciate our time there. And they had so much respect for their characters, and it was just amazing. I feel like Emmett is the best. But maybe I'm giving him too much credit. Alright, I'm going to put him in S+++ for now. Because he is one of my favourite characters. Shock. For now, we'll put him there. I don't know who's going to go in S++++++++, but we'll see. Oh, Emma! Oh, gosh. Emma, we saw most of Emma when we was in Garlemald. Oh, Garlemald. That was such a sad portion of Endwalker. And I know at the time when Endwalker came out and a lot of people did Garlemald, it was around the time of the war, right? The Ukraine war. So it must have been really harrowing, that whole section of Endwalker. Must have just hit so much harder. It was such a sad playthrough, and just seeing, you know, the result of war and the refugees and and the propaganda as well, the radio. Oh, it's a really heart-wrenching part of the MSQ. I felt like Emma again was all right, okay. Didn't necessarily do anything wrong. I liked his banter with Sicard because they're roommates. So I appreciate, again, these kind of like inter-friendship, inter-relationships that they include, which adds to the whole world feeling alive, because I feel like all the characters have different friendships and relationships with each of the other characters. It's not just relationships through you as the main character. Like, everyone kind of experiences each other through you. They all have their own friendships outside of you as well. And that's what makes everything feel so immersive and alive. I appreciate those kinds of things. So I really liked Emma and Sicard's friendship. They're banterous back and forth. Oh, look, it's Erenville! I'm never going to live it down, but when I met Erenville, the first thing I said was that he sounded like a village. But he does. Erenville sounds like a Sims 2 village. It does. And then every time he's on screen, you lot are like, XFFing, you sound like a village. Erenville is best boy. He helped us a lot, especially when we was in Labyrinthos. And he knew we were following him. And he helped us. And he's in the Dawn Trail trailer. So, I think we love our village. We didn't spend too much time with him. I think he can go in A. We'll put him... Oh, Sasma. I might get hate for this ranking. I'm going to put him here for now, but we can review it. We'll put the village there. Eric. Eric was great. I felt... Eric was another... Oh, you know what was really good? Time isn't necessarily a measure of everything. So I felt like Eric went on, again, such a personal character journey because he was suppressed by his father. He could never do right in the eyes of his father. He would never amount to anything. He was never good enough. He couldn't control... what was the name of the specialized magic in Pandemonium? But I can't remember what it was specifically called. But he couldn't channel it very well. And... yeah, he was always suppressed and he was always made to feel like he was never going to amount to anything. It was always a disappointment, and that pain, the pain that he was in, you really felt. And then he really came to his own and he really grew as a person in such a short amount of time. Again, Pandemonium wasn't the longest quest line, but I love how well written it is that it still has such an impact and you can still go on that big journey even though you don't necessarily have the most screen time with those characters. It was containment magic, but I think it had a term, but I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, it was really nice seeing him grow as a person and finding who he was. So I felt like the whole Pandemonium questline was really well written in general. Intimate, that's it. Intimate magic, that was the one. And especially like overcoming, like rebonding with his father, Laaba, but also he adored his mum. But whether it was some kind of magic, wicked spell on him or whatever it was, but still, like, it's really, really difficult when you love your parent. You have that innate nurture love for your parent, because that's your parent, it's your mum. And even if your mum is a terrible person, and you know they're a terrible person, but you still love them, that's still your mum, and you're not excusing their actions, but it can be really hard to cut somebody out of your life because you know that they're not good for you, or you know that they're a really terrible person, and that's a lot of pain that you have to go through. It's essentially mourning a parent whose ghost is still haunting you every night because they're not actually dead. Well, in his case, we did kill her, but it's a... I'm touching on it lightly, but it's actually a very dark, deep theme that not everybody can relate to, but that I can relate to. So that hit home a little bit more for me. So I related a lot to Eric and Eric's journey. So for that, I'm going to cheat a little bit and give him a little bit of bonus credit. Maybe S. I'm going to go S+, but definitely S. And that's probably because I loved Pandemonium. That's probably one of my favorite quest lines as well. It was really, really good. Oh, look who it is. The main character. I love how, you know, ARR, we're told we are the special chosen one. We are the warrior of light, therefore we shall fetch cheese and wine. And then you get to Heavensward, and you slowly realise that you're not the main character. Estinian slowly demotes you from main character, because he's doing his main character stuff. And then your journey through Eorzea and your journey through Final Fantasy XIV is slowly realising that you're not the main character. You're actually the main character's stray cat, apparently. Haha, very funny. But Estinian owns every moment on screen. And there are some cutscenes with Estinian that we've forgotten and blocked from our memory that is way too much. But Estinian is a great character. As much as I hate him, I love him. I'm not even his favourite cat. Oh no. We got the affix. We can only put one person there, two people here. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I guess we need to rank Estinian lower. What a shame. Oh no. I think I'm going to put Elidibus in front of Alfie. Oh, it might be a little bit controversial, but Estinian is amazing. He's the real main character. I've been in denial. Fine, whatever. I didn't put the affix in. He'd be higher if he didn't have an affix. Fan Daniel. Ooh, Fan Daniel. I'm guessing this isn't Hermes. I'm guessing Hermes is on here as well. Because this is like, or maybe he... Oh yeah, look, there we go. We got Hermes. Okay, so this is Fan Daniel Atem. I called him Fandango for the longest time because I thought his name was Fandango. I was just reading it wrong. Shock. So this is the Allegan Atem. Was it Atem? His name? Well, Fandaniel. Amon. Sorry, that's it. Amon. This is Amon Dangle. I did call him Fandango a lot as well. Oops. Fandango, Fandangles. Right, yeah, I'm on. So he as a villain, as an antagonist, he very much antagonized, but then also he also had such a tragic story. They love their tragic villains, even though this was a villain who just wanted to see the world burn, right? Classic sort of like bad guy that just wants to burn the world to the ground, and yet they made that kind of villain still have such a tragic backstory that in the end you could kind of not understand, but you can see why he's like that. They did a really good job of that. So his character was great. The XFFing master himself. Kind of want to put him in S+ for now. Kind of the overarching villain. And it was kind of good that we had... So when we went to the moon and we defeated Zodiac, I was like, we've won. We've defeated the greatest bad. We defeated the big bad. We've won. There we go. Game over. Easy. But the rule of Endwalker is Uno Reverso card. You think you've won, but you've actually lost. You do what it takes to win. And then Endwalker is like, Uno Reverso. Oh no. That was the rule of Endwalker. So his plan, like, he did have a coordinated plan that makes sense. Sometimes I feel like when characters are, not in Final Fantasy, but sometimes like when you watch a film or whatever, it's like the motives are not so clear, or they don't really have like a plan so much, whereas his plan literally made sense. He wanted to die, and he was going to take everyone with him, and in order to do that, he had to sacrifice himself by becoming the heart of Zodiac, and the intention was for us to kill Zodiac, because then that would bring the final days. So it made sense. It was a cohesive plan. And some of his cutscenes, I would say all of his cutscenes, even when we go into the Itioscope, when we go into the Ethereal Sea, that dungeon, even his moments and his cutscenes in that dungeon were very standout. So I think S+ is fine. It was a very good character. Oh, okay. Now we've got SAS Dad. SAS Dad gets a point for growling. The music's barking at me again. He was a very stubborn, arrogant... He played the part well. Again, we have to appreciate the characters for the roles that they play. Appreciating the villains, how villainous they are. But SAS Dad was a really stubborn. He was trying to do what was right for his kids by disowning them. If he had to disown them to protect them, he would have done it. So in a weird way, it shows his love, I guess. I don't know, I'm gaslighting myself. He plays the role of that very arrogant, superior, I am all-knowing and I know more than you. I'm the smartest man in the room. Played it very well, but he also disowned his kids, which made no sense. But then he also went back on it, and then he did help us in the end. Especially as I've started 6.1 now, he's allowed us access to forbidden knowledge. So he's sucking it up a little bit. But again, appreciating him for the role that he plays. Can't put him before Amelians. We had more time with SAS Dad. Music's barking. Yeah, he was a dislikable character. He did a really good job of being a dislikable character. But I'm like, I'm gonna put him in S. think S is fine. Next character. Oh, cat! Oh, GRAA! Okay, I love GRAA. No, I'm restricted. My hands are tied with the top tiers. I don't like it. We love our cat boy. You lot are like, no, he's mine. We're not sharing. No. Me, 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 me. So we have to add another S+ tier to be able to fit the characters in S+. I think we need to add S+++++ until we get to 7 pluses. But I really do love GRAA tier. He's like your biggest fan. And he gets points for ear wiggles. God, I'm so sad. Most of the time I miss the ear wiggles because I'm reading the dialogue and I'm not watching his ears. But no, we love our cat boy. Where do I put him with this affix of limitation of putting things in the upper tiers? I kind of want to put him before... do I want to put him before Alfie? Because his Crystal Exarch moments were so amazing in Shadowbringers. But I guess I have to rate him from Endwalker. But he does have his epic, like, Exarch moments. For example, in Rads at Han, when we had the cutscene where people started succumbing to the final days and turning into monsters, and that's when we lost Ahirwan, for example. Like, that was a harrowing cutscene. And he turns, like, Crystal Exarch mode on. He is amazing. Oh. Okay, so if I'm to put him in S++, it would mean I have to demote maybe Alfie. And I feel horrible for doing that. I really don't want to do that. He has had many inspiring speeches as well, absolutely. I could put Estinian in the bin, because if I put Estinian in the bin, then I'm the main character then. We could do that. Then I'd be the main character finally. I think if I put GRAA in S++, Chris is not going to notice that there's one too many. So nobody tell him. The affix was 2, 3, 4. Oh, the Loperit! Ah! Wait, this is not the head Loperit. I can't remember the exact names. This must be Mapping Way, maybe? Is this Mapping Way? I'm not saying all bunnies look the same or anything, but they're all adorable and they do outrank me on the fluffiness scale, as I learned. Might be Pudding Way, Growing Way. You lot don't know, but it's not the main bunny who's Living Way, right? So I think Living Way's here. I cheated. I did look. This is one of the other ways. We will name this bunny Other Way, and they will represent the Loperits as a whole. I think. I love the Loperits because I am a child. Shocker, shocking plot twist announcement. But I am a toddler and I loved them. They were so cute and they were probably the only character I could voice act. Oh, we got the bunny tour from Growing Way. Okay. It's gonna be Everything Way. They were adorable. I loved the bunnies. They added so much to Endwalker. I felt like Endwalker was like personal fan service where we got to go back in time to Elpis and see Hythlodaeus and Emmett and the ancients like as they were like back in time, and then we also had like cute go to the moon. We had loads of cute things. It was just great. I have to try and remember. It's so hard to like going back to those voices because I'm not necessarily the best at voices anyway. I mean, Valley Girl Satari is the best one, so don't know what that says about the others. I think we put the Loperits by Argos for cuteness. But the real question is, does Argos outrank the Loperits in fluffiness scale? I think yes. I think Argos would outrank the Loperits in terms of fluffiness. There we go. Okay, Hermes. I want to put Hermes in the bin. Hermes! bin. I kind of do want to put him in the bin, though. I want to put him in the bin. He didn't need to question our right to live. Didn't need to give us an ultimatum. But then also was testing us to make sure we had what it took to live. And he did have a good heart. But he also caused the final days and erased Hyperdeus and Emmett's memory. Me and Vanar just getting out. I'm torn. I'm still angry. That's what it is. This is an emotional pick because I'm angry with Hermes. You didn't have to choose that. He didn't have to bring about the final days, but then him bringing about the final days meant that we could exist. Because if the final days didn't hit the ancients, then the world would have never have been sundered, and then we would have never existed. They would have just lived forever as an immortal race. So I don't know. Maybe it was a good thing. It was a good goodie slash baddie. Maybe you should go with Van Daniel, but get a little bit of bonus points. All right. Hermes can go there. If we're not putting the villains in the bin, that means we have to actually appreciate them. But he did have a good heart. He did give in to despair. He did lose hope. Okay, I think they both go there, that's fine. All right, we've got Hairy Boulder next. The chatting one's favourite scion. Hairy Boulder. Oh my goodness. Every time I think of Hairy Boulder now, I just think of Aenor. And her saucy dialogue. My word, does Aenor have some very sus dialogue. I think her parting words when we said bye at the very end of 6.0, when you talk to all the scions individually at the Rising Stones, her dialogue was like, oh, I guess I'm not going to be between two brothers, literally. She had like the most outrageous closing dialogue ever. It was so, like, her voice lines were so funny. Hairy Boulder we didn't really see. I think he can go in C, which is okay tier. You know, wasn't harmful. Average with the others. Probably higher rated than Emma. Well, maybe he goes here. I'll give him bonus points because you lot love him and he's your favorite, so we'll put him here. Hythlodeus! Oh no, I don't like the affix. I don't like it. No. How can I put Hythlodeus? I can't. I cannot place. There is only one solution. There is only one solution now. Oops, I'm pressing all the buttons. Didn't say I couldn't do this, did you, Chris? Yeah, added an affix. So, technically, this checks out now. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that works. Hythlodeus, our cutscene with Hythlodeus in Amarok in Shadowbringers, before we see Emmett, was, again, one of the cutscenes that I really loved. I just really enjoyed it. It was a very emotional cutscene. I really loved Hythlodeus in his memory ancient form in Amarok. But then when we met him properly in Elpis, I just love Hythlodeus. He's great. I love his very calm demeanor. He's so, like, sensible, because we have that cutscene with him again where we're sitting on the grass at some point in Elpis, like earlier on. We have that really lovely cutscene with him again, and he is wonderful. He has such a good heart, and he's not, like, he's insanely clever. I think he has the best sight out of all the ancients. Like, he can see Ether the best, and they wanted him to join the convocation, but I think he just said no to it, right? No, sorry, not above Emmett. I think he goes with Emmett now that I can add another character to S+++. I think we can add him here with Emmett. Sorry, Alice. I am being a bit of a sim. Well, not really, because look, they're all in S3, so that's fine. But I do really love Hythlodaeus, and I love Emmett and Hythlodaeus' friendship as well, like their banter. Like nothing phases Hythlodaeus. He's so like wise and thoughtful. He's great. Ulus. Okay, Ulus. Oh, another character that went for a lot. Like the whole Garlemald section of Endwalker and him trying to overcome the Garleans' innate pride, would you say it like that? They're such a proud nation. They don't want to accept help from outsiders. He has his orders, like he went through his battles and he has to think what's best for the people, but then it also kind of goes against Garlean's general way of being. And he had some cutscenes where he really delivered. Like his voice actor was so good. Like a couple of his like line delivery when he gets, well, I remember him just being like really passionate or really angry, and just I remember the voice actor like really delivered. Oh, Ulus. So I think we put him behind Eric. I think this is a good place to put him. Because we also went through the playground with him. You know, when we was with Alice and Alphanord, when we were trying to find, I think, some fuel to keep the underground subway heated or something. And we went through the whole playground and he showed us where his house was and where he used to take his family, I think his siblings, his younger siblings, and it was just really heart-wrenching. So similar to kind of Eric here, like they both had a similar like emotional story, and I really, really enjoyed it. Obviously not in a good way, but you can still appreciate, even though it was sad, it was still good. Wait, this Lalafell. I remember this Lalafell. This is who we had to deliver the precious resource to, because we needed to increase efficiency to, was it 6%? We needed an extra 6% efficiency on the teeny tiny toy boat. I can't remember what the Lalafell's name was. We needed like 6% or something. And then Eorzea came together and we saw everybody we got to know along the way. We had that wonderful cutscene in Charlian where they all delivered the, well, it wasn't an adamantite. That might be a RuneScape or Coco. I think I called him Coco by accident. Okay, well, he was okay. Again, another character we didn't really spend much time with, didn't do anything wrong, was okay. We'll put him here. Put him in average. Krill! Oh, Krill! Krill! For anyone who's new here or doesn't know, I call her Krill all the time. I love Krill. She is amazing. Oh, Krill, we love her so much. Oh, she really looked after us inside Shadowbringers. We didn't necessarily spend as much time with her in Endwalker, but we went in Dawn Trail. Dawn Trail trailer. She had an amazing section in the full trailer with the new job, which looks extremely exciting. Krill. Ooh, where do we put Krill? I think Krill can probably go. I mean, she didn't do anything wrong necessarily. So I think S+. Even though, look, these two characters had a tragic journey, but we love Krill. I think she's fine. She can go in S+. La Brea! I'm so glad that we got to see La Brea again, because I said this all the time. When I was in ARR and when I was new to the story, I didn't really process things on like a deep level in terms of like La Brea was a bad guy. I didn't really think too much of it. It's just somebody we have to kill, like, or whatever. I didn't really think too much about it. And then after going through the whole story, it's like I didn't realize that La Brea would end up being so important. Like, he was one of the unsung Dacians. He was really important, one of the Convocation of 14. And I was like, I really want to go back to ARR just so I can appreciate my moments with him again and see him with that fresh lens of like, I know how important you are. I know who you are now. And I really want to go back and do like those quests with him so that I can see him with that kind of like my eyes open, if that makes sense. But I didn't know he was going to become important. I didn't know he was who he was, you know. So I was really glad when we did Pandemonium that we got some time with Laaba as well. Really good. And he was very intimidating. Like, some characters have a presence in game. Like, just standing next to him, just his model, like, he was so intimidating. And I think a large part of that is a lot of the subtle, like, camera work. Like, usually when he was on camera, the camera would pan up a little bit, like the camera angle, just to make him look even more, like, oppressing. Like, an oppressing presence. He just oozed of, like, power. I don't know. So I think I'm going to put him here. Just because, again, I think who he is carrying him a little bit more so than what he did. Just that I just really love the Ancients, and I love the whole Convocation of 14. I love all the lore behind the Ancients, so I'm a bit of a sucker for any of the Ancients and the Convocation. Maybe a bit of a simp for the Convocation, maybe, but I just love the Ancients, and I love the fact that Endwalker let us have a little bit more insight into them. So I'm going to put him here, put him a little bit behind Eric, because he didn't necessarily have, I mean, he had to kill his wife again, I suppose. He did grow a little bit, but then also it was really difficult speaking to Laaba as he was then, not what he was then going to go to do, but you could also see how he could have got to that. But I think we had a few moments with him where it was like, yeah, well, you did something in the future, which was kind of hard for him to take, if that makes sense, but I think we put him here. Oh my gosh, my brain. Lucina? Oh, my brain. She really came to her own in Endwalker, I felt like. I felt like when we got to know her, she was kind of what Emeric's right-hand woman. She was really strong. You know, we had that moment where we fought on the bridge in Heaven's Ward, and she did that move that protected everyone. She had like Lucia, sorry, yes, Lucia. She had that moment where she like protected it. She had her really big Giga Chad moment, and I felt like in Endwalker she really came into her own. She showed like really strong leadership, and she did really, really well in Garlemald. I guess because she is technically a Garlean, right? She has a little eyeball here. But I really like her as a character, and I like seeing her come through her leadership in Endwalker as well. So I think I'm gonna put her. Ooh. I'm gonna put her in S, I think. Am I reaching my limit? 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, if we have another, oh no. I feel like with another, oh no, we're shuffling everyone up now. Whatever. Look, with a new tier, we gotta put them up a bit. Oh, I'm fine with Lucina being there. All right, now we've got, is this Living Way? Living Way. My squeaky, fluffy, adorable friend. I loved the Loporits. They were so adorable and cute. But I still feel like, I think the Loporits as a whole could kind of go here, I think. I don't know if I'd give any bonus points to Living Way much. I mean, Living Way did make me laugh a few times. Their blunt delivery every so often. I thought you were dying! Anyway! I haven't done my Loporit voice in so long, so squeaky. Well, we decided that Argos outranked the Loporits on the fluffy scale, so what can you do? Okay, maybe we will give Living Way a little bit more credit. There we go. How about that? This is Matsia, right? We got a 1 out of 3 fish ending, so I feel like we definitely demote Matsia for that. I mean, again, he was okay. He You know what? He had a really nice thing. At the beginning of Endwalker, I decided to go to Thavnir over staying in Charlian. So we did the Thancred, Urianger, Estinian side. Because you can pick, can't you? In Shadowbringers, you pick to go to Alfie in Gilmore, or you pick to go to Alisay, and you have that whole harrowing cutscene with Tesleen and stuff. But at the start of Endwalker, you pick to either go with... you go... away with the lads, or you stay and study. So I ended up going away first. Tower of Thought. And yeah, we only saw 1 out of 3 fish. But he also had a nice little, like, he was really socially anxious, had a lot of social anxiety, didn't really know how to speak to people, didn't have any confidence, and we spent a little time with him, and he kind of, like, battled through that. So, again, had a small little character journey as well. He also helped save the baby, and we saw him again, but I think it was the post patches that we saw him again. But yeah, we had that whole tragic part of Endwalker with the family, and then we slowly lost the parents, and we always lost the dad, then the mom drowned, and then we saved the baby, about to save the baby. Yeah, he had a lot of good moments, actually. I'm going to put him... Oh, how is Athena? No, I feel like we should put him here. I think this is fair. This is a fair placement. Yeah, there was a lot of... I forgot. Well, I didn't forget, but, like, you remind yourself. You know, it's a huge world. Aetheres, Eorzea. It's such a deep and complex story. Sometimes it can be a lot to take in for the first time, right? So, refreshing my memory. Well, let's emote him slightly for 1 out of 3 fish. Okay, now we have Maxima. I've always enjoyed Maxima ever since, I think Shadowbringers was the first time we saw Maxima, right? Was that Shadowbringers? And I just felt like he was great. I really, really enjoyed him. He had like a really good on-screen presence. Again, doesn't have to make sense because they're characters, but like, I don't know, he had such a presence. I liked him. I warmed to him. But I think he can go... He was okay. I think we can put him maybe here. But yeah, I think we can put him here. Above average. Okay. Oh, Stormblood. Sorry. Yeah, Stormblood. Oh, Metean. Oh, no. Metean. Oh, Metean. She was so sweet. She felt like my younger sister. And then she turned evil because... they went out into the universe to find life, and they found only despair. And the despair corrupted them. And she was one of the scariest, freakiest villains probably ever. When she turned into X. Our lovely Twitter bird turned into X. But then even at the very end, I picked, oh gosh, I'm getting emotional thinking about the 6.0 ending, but I picked the dialogue with Metean to like come home. Like, come with us, Metean, come home. Like, I picked those, like, we did save her, kind of. Oh, where would we put her? I think we can put, oh, I'm kind of, Elidibus, sort of. Elidibus in Endwalker. Kind of had one cutscene. I think here's probably a good place for Metean. She played the parts of being the villain, freaky villain, really, really well. She was so, oh, I feel like you know what, we can put her here. I think that's a good place for Metean. I really, really loved her in Elpis, and then she turned evil. She played the evil role well, and it was so emotional as well. I remember like crying my eyes out in 6.0 and picking the options like Metean, come with us. Like, oh, so sad. But she did play the villain good too. All right, we'll put her there. Aha, this is Monty Craig. The Louis Soir best friend, kind of like our grandpa, in a way. Louis Soir's best friend, helped us out in the forum. He was the best grandpa. Where would I rank him? Definitely above SAS Dad. I think we can put him here. might be a biased pick, actually. Might be giving him a bit too much credit. Maybe we'll put him behind SAS Mom. That's probably a fairer choice. But then, okay, there we go. Not too much adjustment. How many am I allowed in A? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, you know what? The only restrictions were for S tier. But you want Emmett and Hyfladeus to be gazing into each other's eyes. All right, fine, whatever. But they're roommates. Are you happy now? There's the fan service. The one time I listened to chat. There's no limits for A. It's only limits for S+. Nidhana! Oh, we loved Nidhana. She was best girl. She kind of like reminds me of Krill a little bit. And then we did the Tower of Thought and she tested the talisman herself and then she got captured and then I thought we were gonna lose her and she is best girl. Kind of want to put her with Krill, but I don't know if I want to put her above Krill. I think I'll put her there. I think that's a good placement for lovely Nidhana. She helped us a lot. She was incredibly smart. She was very strong. She was the first to volunteer herself for testing out the warding scales. I thought she was great. Oh my goodness, who is this? Possessed Way? What's this? Scary Way? Maybe this is Pudding Way. Is this Pudding Way or Sleeping Way? Pudding Way? Oh gosh. Pudding Way, I think, goes ahead. I think outranks Argos on the fluff scale. Because Pudding Way with the puddings was very cute. And I liked the fact that the world was ending and we were in Labyrinthos and we were fawning over like grapes or something. We were like showing the Loporits around. It was great. I think Pudding Way can go there. Look a little bit scary there though, Pudding Way. Oh no, not you. What was his name again? Oh no, that was so. I feel like in the past people talk about very intense MSQ watches and like bad experiences. I know that Noble shared his experience, so he had like a wrong reaction once. Quintus, yes, sorry, Quintus. He was written so well. He was, because he was that typical like propaganda leader. He was despicable, war crimes. Oh, and so, you know, Noble was saying about a wrong reaction, and I had a slight wrong reaction because I didn't realize what was happening, okay? They were talking about keeping us in the subway with the twins, and then they were like, well, we could just put them on lead. And my toddler brain was like, haha, we're gonna take the twins for a walk. Like, we're putting us on a lead so we can't leave the subway. I didn't know in that moment that the twins were getting shock collars, like a actual torture device. My brain was like, haha, we're going to be put on a lead and we could like walk the twins. So I had my wrong reaction moment. Haha, shock collars, funny. I didn't know they were shock collars. It was literally like first impression, where it's like, we're going to put you on a lead. That's all they said. There's no mention of shock collars at that point. And then I realized, and it was like literally 0 to 100 or 100 to 0, where I was laughing like, haha, we're going to be put on a lead, to like, oh no, wait a second. And then like it dawned on me what was happening. And then people were like, oh, you're not laughing now, are you? Oh, not laughing now, are you? But again, he played his villainous role really well. He stands out, a bit like Valens, you know, where like they stand out because they have that extra like oomph of like villainous nastiness, like they have that extra bite. I don't know if that makes sense. So he's kind of, I think I put him maybe above La Habrea. Yeah, I think we put him above La Habrea. I don't know if I'm at my... I don't know if he's S+ though. Maybe he's not an S+ villain. But again, he played... It's kind of like SAS Dad, where they played that like character really well. And I felt like he was really well written as well. Again, that like... I was just thinking, sorry, which is dangerous, of how little screen time he had, but how much of an impression he made on us. And I don't know whether to give him credit for that. That's what I was thinking. Like Like, we didn't know him for very long. We didn't spend much time with him, but he was so well written that his short time, like, really stood out. And I feel like I want to give him credit for that. That's what I'm trying to say, I think. So where would I think S is fine. For how little time we spent with him. And again, we kind of, like, saw where we was coming from. Not in, like, I agree or I understand. It's more like I see why you are thinking. Like, I see how you think or how you, you know, are the way you are. No, the stream was not frozen. I was just loading. It happens sometimes when I try and put those two brain cells together and I do the think, I freeze. We're just like lagging. We're just loading. All right, Sickard. Definitely gets bonus points for voice acting. But, like, he made me laugh. He had some funny dialogue with Emma as well. They had some banterous moments, which I enjoyed. Getting bonus points for voice acting, which is cheating. So I'm going to put Sickard there. Is this Sleeping Way or Mapping Way? Was this the one who was voiced by GRAA Tia's voice actor? Sleeping Way, Mapping Way. I think points are given for a snot bubble. I appreciate the snot bubble. Sleeping Way. Okay, I think Sleeping Way goes here, below Pudding Way, because of snot bubble. And that's it. Oh, Growing Way was GRAA. Okay. Definitely goes there. Tataru! Ah! Oh, I love Tataru so much. She is best girl. We've loved her from the very beginning. I love her so much. Oh no, where would we put Tataru? We didn't spend all the time with her. But I loved her going on her ventures of, like, we got to know Tara a little bit more, but I think it was in 6.1, maybe 6.1 we got like had to know her a little bit more. How she really worked her way up, and even when she's, you know, the receptionist for the Scion, she grew into so much more. And now she has a boutique. And now I still think Tataru is going to be the end boss of Dawn Trail. Because some of her dialogue in 6.1 has, like, off tones. And I'm like, Tataru, your villain era is starting. Like, she's getting mad with power, I think. I think she's going to be the real end boss in Dawn Trail. Mark my words. Thancred! It's Dadcrid! Oh, where do we put Dadcrid? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. We're running out of S tier. No! Oh, I don't like it. I don't like this affix. I should have done the tier list next week, then the affix would change. Ha 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 ha. Where would I put Thancred? Oh! I don't like the restrictions. Oh no, I really don't like the restrictions. I kind of want to put Thancred here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. That means we have to remove somebody. Maybe Nidhana can go down here. Ugh, I hate it. I hate it! But then, oh no, that means I have to remove someone from this category as well. Maybe I'm giving... Who am I giving too much credit here? I was thinking SAS Dad or Lucina. Oh, her name is... struggling. Why is my brain struggling? Lucina? Is that her name? I don't know why my brain's struggling, sorry. I think maybe we can put her here. Lucia. Lucia. I don't know why I'm struggling with that one. I kind of... Maybe I should demote Lucia. I know. Look, I didn't put the affix in. You lot did. Themis. Themis / Elizabeth. Oh no. Oh no, I'm in trouble. All I'm saying is that the thermostat was cranked up in Endwalker. He is the best. And I have to say, Pandemonium had some cutscenes that were like Shadowbringers 5.0, 5.3, like oomph, powerful moments. And that was without voice acting, which is fine. But obviously voice acting adds a lot. But he had some moments like when he was like, say my name to the La Habrea, who wasn't actually La Habrea. Like, I don't know. Themis was great. Again, I'm just a sucker for the Asians. I'm a sucker for the Asians. Yeah. Some would say simp. But I also don't care, because Themis is best. I'll put him there for now. I don't know how I'm going to order them. I'm just going to put him there. I haven't thought about the ordering yet with that one. The Watcher! Oh! World's biggest ancient simp. I think the Watcher was really, really wonderful, and I love the fact that we can still visit him even now. And that must be a really tough job, to just sit AFK on the moon watching. But I did really like the Watcher. Oh, where would I put the Watcher? He gave us some more like Asian lore. So I think I really enjoyed our moments on the moon. So I'm gonna put him above average, which is B, but I also want to give him bonus points because I did really like. Do I put him in front or behind? In front or behind SAS Mum? I think I'm gonna put him behind SAS Mum for now, but I think that's a bit unfair. Oh, I don't know. I think maybe in front of I was gonna say Ass Mum then. In front of SAS Mum. I love how I said I was gonna say that and I still said it anyway, but it's fine. Yuri next. I love how I gasp every time. Like, I have my favorite characters. Look, okay? All I'm saying is, Square Enix write really good characters. If they didn't write so many amazing characters and stories and quests, then you wouldn't have, if they didn't make so many good characters, then they wouldn't all be up here, would they? So this is Square Enix's fault, not mine. Where would I put Yuri? Yuri is best boy. I've kind of like, I understand about 37% of what he says now, so that's an improvement. But he is best boy. Where do I want to put him? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, 5. Oh god, these S's are filling up. I don't like it. Oh, where would I put Yuri? Kind of want to put him here. Because we also, so we haven't really had any one-to-one time with Yuri as much. But in Endwalker, when we was on the moon, we had a really beautiful moment with Yuri. Again, one of my favorite cutscenes. Oh, I have so many favorite cutscenes, but the cutscene with him on the moon was also a really heart-wrenching, wonderful moment. And he had so many moments like that in Endwalker, and I kind of want to put him here. But which means I have to demote someone here. That means I have to maybe demote Elidibus. Oh, maybe. I can't bring myself to demote GRAA or Alfie. Maybe. But to be fair, Elidibus, we had one cutscene with. But again, it was such a good cutscene and he is such an amazing character that Shadowbringer's carrying over. I would put Astinian in the bin. That would solve everything. He's the reason we're not the main character. Maybe we move... Maybe we're giving Elidibus too much credit in Endwalker. But I still think Shadowbringers... Ugh, we're rating purely for Endwalker. The one cutscene was amazing. Maybe we should put him... Maybe we should put him, like... a little bit lower. Which would mean maybe demoting Krill or Tataru. Which maybe would take Krill down, maybe. Which then... maybe we demote SAS Dad. Oh no! I still feel like we've done Elidibus dirty here. I'm gonna put him in front because Fandaniel and Hermes are... I'm gonna put him in the front. There we go. I think that looks better. Okay. Varshan. Varshan, right? The puppet for Vitra. I was going to say, okay, does he count as Vitra? But I see Vitra on the list here. I think because he's a puppet of Vitra, he's technically also Vitra, so... I'm kind of like, I mean, as a puppet, he was all right, I guess. So I feel like I kind of want to put him there and rate Vitra for Vitra, but maybe put the puppet there. Oh my god, you know you've done bad when you're outranked by a puppet. When you lose to a puppet. Alright, now we've got Vanar. Heidelin. I feel like she has to go at the top of the tier list. She just has to. I feel like this is a very basic thing of me to put her at the top, but I think she deserves the top position. I sobbed like a baby when we had that cutscene where she was walking and she was getting progressively more dirty, but I think in the Japanese version it was blood, but I think in our version it was like mud, or like it looked like oil and stuff like that. And I think she just deserves to be at the top because we said goodbye to her in the trial. That cutscene made me blub. She's just commendable as well. She's a hero. She's amazing. She spent millennia being by herself because she loved Etheres and the people of Etheres. That she sacrificed her life, herself, her everything to protect them and make sure that they would live on. And she's just there. She's just there. S+++++ for Vanar Heidelin. Our mother from the very start. There we go. She's deserving of that. Alright, Vitra. So he was a very noble dragon. I think he always did what was right for his people. Really cares about his people. It's very noble, very good. I think he can go at the top of A. Because I'm limited now with these positions. These positions are filled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. S is filled, so we have to put him in A. A for our dragon. This is... Oh, God. I've just said the S is filled. We've got Y'shtola left. And Zeno. Oh, whatever. Okay, that's future me's problem in about 10 seconds. Alright, now we've got Moonbreeder's dad. I can't remember his name. Was it one of them called Blowedin? Blowweeder? I think Moonbreeder's dad can go with her mum. I think they can go together in the OK. In the OK tier. Alright, now we've got Y'shtola. I love Y'shtola. Like all the Scions. I mean, these are the characters that we've spent the most time with, right? Even though I am a bit of a simp for the Ascians, so maybe that doesn't quite check out. But Y'shtola is also one of the Scions. She's been there from the very start. I love her humor. She's really intelligent. She's inspiring. She's so strong. And she's also so sassy. She channels her inner Matoya sometimes. And I really love Y'shtola. I feel like she has to go here with the other Scions, but that would mean that one of them gets demoted, and I don't know if I can do it. And then if I put her here, that means one of these get demoted, and I suppose Tataru could. Okay, so where am I going to put Y'shtola? Maybe Y'shtola... Oh. I feel like the Scions are unfairly ranked a little bit. Do I put her in front of Thancred here? Maybe. And then Tataru gets demoted. Sorry, Tataru. Oh, and then with Tataru getting demoted, that means someone else has to go. Oh, gosh. Kind of tempted to demote Laaba because I think Laaba has a simp position. Because he's an Ascian and he's Laaba. So that's more of a simp reason. So I guess we can demote Laaba a little bit. But the only thing with Quintus is that I think he was written really well. And again, his 5 minutes was so memorable. That whole thing was so harrowing. I felt like it had a lot of real world notes of like propaganda and war and the nation. And I do want to give him extra credit for that. because they were very standout moments. So maybe I'm being a bit biased, but at least that's writing is a better reason than, oh, it's an Asian. Simp. S. S for ass. All right, Xenos. Now, Xenos I'm very torn with, right? Because in Stormblood, I was genuinely terrified of him. He was a scary villain. In Stormblood, he had such a presence. He just slowly walks at you. He's so menacing. He's so powerful. I was actually terrified of him in Stormblood. And then I felt like, we didn't really see him in Shadowbringers, I don't think, much. And then in Endwalker, I felt like it was amounting to something. He was kind of there, looming on the horizon. But I don't know if this is very controversial. I just felt like he didn't necessarily really go anywhere. I felt like he was charging up to do something, and then he never really ended up doing something, because then Metean came along, and that was our enemy. So then where was Xenos' role? He didn't really have a purpose or a role at that point. He didn't really have, I guess... I mean, he's a really cool character. His voice actor is top tier. The way that he is, his animations, the art for him is all phenomenal, don't get me wrong. But I'm going just by, like, story. I felt like in Stormblood, he was a top tier villain. He was scary, menacing, terrifying. Gave me a little bit of Lich King vibes. Because I know there's a dungeon in Wrath of the Lich King where he is just walking at you, and it's a really scary dungeon. And I've not done it, but I've heard about it, and I've kind of seen it here and there. Xenos reminds me of that. Like, just really, really, really terrifying. But like I said, he didn't really, like, kind of grow into anything. He came back, and I felt like he was, like, again, he was kind of charging up to do something, and then he never really did something. And then I thought, he just wants a fight. Like, he's finally, all he wants is an opponent. Like, he's more powerful than anyone. He's probably one of the most powerful beings in the present Atheres, maybe. And he just wanted an opponent. He wanted somebody that would test him. He wanted someone who could be potentially equal to his power, and he saw potential in us. So I felt like we were gonna have a final dance, and in order to pump us up, he kept talking about, like, pumping us up to have this epic battle, this epic finale. But and I was thinking, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna kill our friends to make us angry and fight him? But he didn't really do anything. And then when it came to the final days, he kind of helped us a bit, because, you know, he turned up in Garlemald, and he also helped us at the very end with Metean. So then he kind of turned into this, like, what, anti-hero maybe? I don't know if that's correct, but he went from being an actual really menacing threat, kind of looming, ramping, into kind of an anti-hero. Kind of the bad guy, kind of helped us. But then helped us. And then, I don't know, then he kind of just, we had that final fight. And the whole time when I was going through 6.0 in the ending, I was like, yeah, but what role does Xenos have here? I kind of felt like he was maybe, this has nothing to do with the writers. This is kind of how I felt like. He was forgotten about, and then it was like, oh yeah, wait, Xenos exists. How do we incorporate him into this? And then I kind of think it was kind of, I suppose it was kind of good that he's like this ominous bad guy that's always been the bad guy, and then in the end, he helps you, and he helps you with Metean. So I suppose there's kind of a thing in that. But then again, like that final fight with Xenos, even though it was epic, right? You had the footfalls playing, you were fighting him. I probably had the most fun fighting him that I've had in a long time. Like, one of those moments that was really fun. Like, jam into footfalls, and it was great. It was really great, and I enjoyed it. But story-wise, I didn't know what... I don't know, I felt like he was kind of forgotten about, maybe. There wasn't really a space for him, and then it was kind of like an afterthought, maybe. Maybe an afterthought. So, I don't know. I feel like I could have done so much more with him. But he did feel like an afterthought, and I don't know if I'm correct in that. Again, that's just my opinion. I suppose there's no correct or right or wrong, but he did feel like a bit of an afterthought. And his spot in Endwalker felt a bit clunky, that's all. It could just be, maybe I just didn't understand him enough. But yeah, I don't know. It was such a big, huge, terrifying bad guy in Stormblood, and then he kind of was ominously looming, and then it didn't really amount to anything. That's kind of how I felt. So I don't really know where to put him because I don't have any spots here for S, and I don't think Endwalker Xenos was S. I think the only S thing about him was his voice actor. Again, all these things that wasn't necessarily the story, but his voice actor is probably one of the best voice actors in the game. So do I give him credit for that? Maybe. And I also felt like he looked really cool. He had an on-screen presence, like all of these things, which was like personality, character, how he's written, his story, like all of those things aside, everything else was great. So, but I don't know if that would make you S, but then I kind of feel like he was maybe ahead of some of these characters, you know what I mean? They still had a really, really great on-screen presence. He was still menacing. It wasn't his fault that he kind of felt like an afterthought at the very end. You know what I mean? So, maybe A. Maybe the top of A tier. Kind of like Laaba. Bit of extra credit. Wait, okay. So, I think this is probably final tier list. Now, let me have a real think, see if there's anything I change. I think, for now, Hyper Deus Emmett. I don't care that I'm being a bit of a fangirl for Hyper Deus Emmett. I am. All right, whatever. Yes, I am. I am a simp for the Asians. Whatever. Maybe Alice got a bit too much credit here. Because I did put, the thing is when you put characters on early, you don't have all of the other characters. So maybe Alice is a bit too higher rated. I might rearrange. Oh, I'm such a simp for the Asians, aren't I? Oh, maybe Alice is getting a little bit too much credit. Estinian. Trying to eliminate the main character, but he is cool. He is a Giga Chad. I love how, I don't know, does Metean deserve to be in front of the Scions? I don't know. Look, again, she was a great, like, character turned villain, turned kind of had a really beautiful moment at the end. So I'm trying to credit the villains too. And then I think the Scions, it's really hard to order them because I kind of love them all the same. So it's really hard to order the Scions, honestly. I don't know if this is necessarily in order. I think they're all just S++. But I think I've had the most, like, impressionable moments with Alice, for sure. But that is in previous expansions as well. But I just love her as a character. I don't know. I think all the Scions are kind of on the same level. You know what? I think this is fine. I've taken a glance. I think it's good. There's nobody in the bin. Still tempted to put Estinian in there, but we'll leave him. No, you know what? This is good. I think. What do we think? Final tier list. Rate myself. Need to add a new. Need to be S7. I put myself in S7. I put myself in the bin. I'll put myself in trash. How about that? Wait, where am I? Did you... What? Am I here? No, I'm not here. If my little image, which... This stupid image, if this was... I would put myself in the bin. There you go. Now somebody's in the bin. Put myself there. You know what? I could put the chatting ones in the bin. How do you think about that? Oh, I would never do that. Oh, don't give me the face. I think this is good. Finally, 6.0, we got a good tier list. There's surely nothing wrong with this. Nothing. I think I've done a good job this time. We got there in the end. We discussed adding you to the tier list, and this was the conclusion. We only add relevant characters to the tier list. Ah! That stung more than Zenos! Mulk's the true villain after all. That's more menacing than any of the Zenos dialogue. Alright, clip it, ship it. Done. Easy. How do I... Hang on. Gonna... Wait, how do we make this all like one... Wait, can we zoom in one more? There we go. Print screen. Clip and ship. Easy. Done. Perfect.